I want us to talk about what critics believe that the return of the NDC could be the return of some people who feel that they didn't have their time to get their share of the national kitty.
That is completely wrong. Because Ghanaians, even inside NPP, they are saying that what is happening cannot pass for any good governance at all. And that is why a lot of NPP people are clamoring for the return of President John Mahama. Because you see, in any democracy, there are guardrails that prevent bad people from becoming presidents. You know, the party system, primary system, and many, many other things, which will guide and block the way for wrong people from becoming president. But there are times when wrong people, once a while, a wrong person can sneak through. And when that wrong person sneaks through, democracy-loving people in the country come together, both from within his party and outside his party, to make sure he leaves office so that the system can be reset. Where we are, it is not about NDC, NPP anymore, because many people within NPP themselves are saying that this is not good governance. Is
there a plan, you know, as far as your party is concerned, to ensure that what we have just spoken about does not happen within your party, within your time, should you come back in 2024?
Our records are there. We always make sure we don't spend more money on running the country than the money that goes into investment. That is basic principle for running any country. If you take over any country and you put more of the resources of the country in maintaining yourselves in power than the resources that will go into investment for the future, you can only crash. And that is why we are crashing now.
Are we now discounting the several accusations that were also leveled against the NDC?
I'm not talking about several accusations. I'm talking about the quantum of our resources that are going into maintaining government.
We're speaking in view of corrupt practices.
Not just corrupt practices.
Okay, what else are we talking about?
Bloated government.
Okay.
Appointing people who are doing practically next to nothing.
The NDC didn't do that.
So if you put, that's why I'm saying you talk about the quantum. When you put the amount of money that should go into investment against the amount of money that maintains the government, and you see that the one that you need to maintain the government is far higher than the one that will go into investment to generate growth, you are in trouble. You can't pay your debts, and that is where we are.
So, Chairman, what I'm asking is there a plan to ensure that the NDC does not do that? Is there a plan to ensure that the accusations we've had against the NDC in the past?
We have never done that. And yet, people were using the media to paint a picture that that was what we were doing. During NDC time, did you hear the nation ever defaulting on its debt obligations? No.
I'll flip the question to you. During NDC's time, were there accusations of corruption?
I'm not talking about... Yes, there were accusations of corruption. Of course, in every government since independence, there have always been accusations of corruption. So
what's the plan to ensure that the people who are coming in with you in 2024, if that is the case, do not sink their teeth in the national kitty?
If they are afraid that they will be dealt with, they will be punished, and will not be treated as cronies, and though it's like your thief versus my thief. This is our thief, so protect him. That is their thief, let's punish him. You can't fight corruption. We fight corruption from within us, and then use that yardstick to fight corruption from outside. But if the fight against corruption is reduced into fighting their thief and protecting our thief, then you can't succeed. And that is what is happening currently.
I see. Let's talk about...
So that is what should change. If anybody is talking about fighting corruption, let the fight begin.
I want us to talk about the NDCs.
Protecting your proteges and then trying to look for corrupt people from your opponents. That will not.
Let's talk about the NDC's seeming interest in Dr. Bawumia as, candidate for the NPP, and seeming disinterest, rather, as the candidate for the NPP. It would seem that the NDC is afraid of Dr. Bawumia on the ticket of the NPP.
We, as a political party, have never taken any position about our preference of candidates from the NPP side, because we don't take those decisions.
How do you think your candidate, former President John Mahama, measures up against the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia?
I'm not interested in limiting President John Mahama, comparing President John Mahama with Bawumia. My position, if you care to know, our position is that whoever comes will be defeated by President Mahama.
What makes you think that, regardless of who comes up, the NDC's John Mahama is a better candidate on the ballot?
Because we will have a stronger program, for reviving this economy and provide hope for the youth of this country, because we are known to have done more generational thinking than what we are seeing now. We are seeing empty sloganeering that will attract clapping momentarily, even if the following day we will have to be crying. That is not the way to run a country. So when we come, even if we are calling on the current generation to tighten their belt, we will show them that this is the reason why you are tightening your belt. It's because of the future generation. You cannot continue to live in a situation where now the future of the current the future of this country we are handing over to the younger ones. It's debt, unsustainable debt that they cannot pay. We are consuming today and pushing the burden of paying for our current consumption on the future generations. It is unfair. We are destroying the environment today and looking for resources, gold, whatever, and so on, and then pushing the mess, the environmental mess, to future generations. Right. That is also not good. And many other things. So let's begin thinking about how our country will look like in future. And when we are taking decisions today, let us be mindful about what future we are bequeathing.
Despite what you have just told us, the NPP General Secretary last week on this program told us that, and I'm quoting, I can assure you that after our presidential candidate has laid down his vision for Ghanaians, any negative thought about the NPP will be revised.
We have heard this before. His predecessor told us that by the end of their first term, we will be importing youth from other countries to come and work here because we will run short of labor. John Boadu is on record to have said it. So what is new about JFK saying something like that?
I want to know what the NDC envisions the 2024 elections to be. Do you expect it to be a tightly contested race?
I don't engage in this type of conversation because it's a double-edged sword. If you paint a picture of an easy election, that works against you because it goes to, encourage your people to go to sleep because we have won already. On the other hand, if you paint a very bad picture too, it has a way of demoralizing some people. But what I'm saying is that we have work to do. It is not over until it is over. So let everybody put in their best effort, and then we will win come January 2025.
What do you have to say to analysts who have measured, based on their predictions, that Dr. Bawumia will be on the ticket of the NPP, with John Mahama on the NDC, the 2024 elections could go into a round-off?
Let them continue with their predictions. I'm not one of them.
I see.